Imagine a monster, a predator larger than T-Rex, but forget everything you think you know about giant dinosaurs. This isn't a creature of the land, thundering through forests. This is something else entirely, a river demon, a creature of the water. With a 6-foot sail on its back, a crocodile's snout, and a tail like a giant paddle. This is the story of Spinosaurus aegyptiacus, a dinosaur so bizarre it took a century of war, loss, and incredible detective work to even begin to understand it. Our story begins over 100 years ago in the scorching deserts of Egypt. A German paleontologist, Ernst Stromer, unearths the remains of a truly colossal animal. He names it Spinosaurus, the spine lizard of Egypt. Stromer was a brilliant scientist. He realized this giant was probably a fish-eater. An idea almost unheard of for a predator of its size back then. He shipped his precious fossils, too. A museum in Munich, Germany. A one-of-a-kind treasure. But then, tragedy struck, World War II erupted. Stromer, who openly opposed the Nazi regime, begged the museum director to move the irreplaceable fossils to a safe place away from the threat of Allied bombs. His pleas were ignored. In April 1944, a bombing raid reduced the museum to ash and rubble. The original Spinosaurus, the only one ever found, was destroyed, pulverized into dust. For decades, the greatest predator to ever live became a ghost, known only from a handful of old drawings and photographs. It was a paleontological myth, a frustrating footnote in the history of life. For 70 years, Spinosaurus haunted the world of science. It appeared in books as a strange caricature, often just a T-Rex with a sail stuck on its back. Without the original bones, no one could prove what it really was. But clues began to surface. A tooth here, a bone fragment there, found across North Africa. They all hinted that Stromer's lost monster was real, and it was everywhere in the ancient river systems of the Cretaceous. Then, in 2008, a young German-Moroccan paleontologist named Nizar Ibrahim was working in the Moroccan desert when a local fossil hunter showed him a box of bones. In that box was a single, strangely shaped vertebra. Ibrahim recognized it instantly. It was from a Spinosaurus. He knew he was on the verge of solving a century-old mystery. What followed was like something out of a detective movie. Ibrahim had to find that same fossil hunter again, a man with no name and no address, somewhere in the vast expanse of the Sahara. It was a race against time. Miraculously, he found him. The man led Ibrahim's team back to a specific glyph face, and there they hit the jackpot. A new, partial skeleton of Spinosaurus. Leg bones, pelvic bones, more of that iconic sail, and parts of the skull. This was the Rosetta Stone of dinosaurs. Ibrahim and his team, including the famous paleontologist Paul Sereno, put the new bones through every test imaginable. They CT-scanned them, created digital models, and compared them to Stromer's old drawings. What they found, published in 2014, turned the world of paleontology upside down. This new Spinosaurus was weirder than anyone could have dreamed. The sail was real, a magnificent billboard on its back. The skull was perfectly designed for catching fish, with pressure sensors on its snout just like a crocodile, to feel movement in the water. But the real shockers were in the body. Its hind legs were incredibly short and muscular for a giant theropod. This was not a creature built for running on land. Its bones were dense and solid, not hollow like other predators. They were heavy, providing ballast to help it control its buoyancy in the water, just like a penguin or a manatee. Its feet were long and flat, perfect for webbed, paddle-like feet. The conclusion was stunning. Spinosaurus was a semi-aquatic dinosaur, the first one ever discovered. The largest meat-eating dinosaur of all time wasn't chasing prey on land, it was hunting in the rivers. It was a dinosaur that swam. But the story wasn't over. Just when the world was getting used to this radical new image, Ibrahim and his team dropped another bombshell. In 2020, they announced they had found the rest of the tail from that same skeleton. And it was a revelation. The tail wasn't stiff and pointed like a T-Rex's. It was deep, flexible, and shaped like a giant paddle, almost like the tail of a newt or a crocodile. It was a powerful engine, built for propulsion in the water. Biomechanical models confirmed it. This tail could generate incredible thrust, allowing Spinosaurus to chase down its prey underwater with powerful bursts of speed. This wasn't just a dinosaur that waded in the shallows anymore. This was a fully aquatic hunter, a true river dragon. It actively pursued prey in the massive rivers of Cretaceous North Africa, a world teeming with giant, car-sized fish and enormous sawfish. Spinosaurus was the apex predator of this lost water world. To picture Spinosaurus, you have to picture its environment. 97 million years ago, North Africa wasn't a desert. It was a river of giants, a vast network of humid, mangrove-choked rivers and estuaries. This was the most dangerous place on Earth. The water was filled with monstrous coelacanths, giant lungfish, and 12-meter-long supercrocs. And ruling over it all was Spinosaurus. At up to 15 meters, or 49 feet long, it was longer than a T-Rex. It would have spent most of its life in the water, a bizarre combination of crocodile, heron, and whale. It could likely haul itself out onto land, maybe to lay eggs, but it would have been clumsy and awkward. Its kingdom was the water. It would ambush prey from below, using its dense bones to stay submerged, its nostrils placed high on its skull to breathe, and its sensitive snout to detect the faintest movements of fish in the murky water. So many questions still remain. What was the sail for? A dazzling display for mates? A way to control its body temperature? Or a fatty hump for storing energy, like a camel's? And how exactly did it move on land? Did it walk on 2 legs, or 4, perhaps resting on its knuckles? The debates are still raging. The story of Spinosaurus is a story of scientific resilience. It's the story of Ernst Stromer, whose life's work was destroyed by war, but whose meticulous notes survived. And it's the story of Nizar Ibrahim, whose passion and persistence resurrected a lost giant. Spinosaurus shattered our ideas of what a dinosaur could be. It proved that these incredible animals conquered not just the land, but the water too. It's a powerful reminder that the book of life is still being written, and the most incredible chapters might still be buried, waiting to be discovered. Thanks for watching. If you found this story as amazing as I did, hit that like button and subscribe for more journeys into our planet's incredible past.